for daily Ask Reddit. r/Ask Reddit. Therapists and marriage counselors of Reddit. Do you ever just know in the first 5 minutes of a session that's the asshole in the relationship? How can you tell? If you like the video, drop a like and subscribe so you never miss a video. Not sure this is intended as a serious question, but if someone's being an asshole in the first 5 minutes of their first session, it's usually because they have legitimate grievances that aren't being heard and haven't been for a long time. In other words, they may be being an but that doesn't make all people act because they feel marriage counseling is about trying to untangle that mess and build/rebuild a relationship where they feel better and don't feel like they have to act out to be listened to. It's not my job to identify. They can get people to do that for free on Reddit. As a note, it is often the person who has tried the hardest to make a relationship work that leaves it. The person not doing the work has less reason to be frustrated and upset. Staying in the relationship has less cost to them. The one working hard on the relationship is often the one who cares the most and is therefore the most upset and finally done. In a relationship that is failing, not being the emotional one is usually not a good sign. It's far more complex than that. As someone mentioned, if someone is being difficult in such a short space of time, there are clearly much deeper issues than what you see on the surface. You also can't assume such things either. Depending on the branch of counseling you do, there are various aspects you need to employ. For example, person-centered counseling requires the utilization of the 3 core conditions: empathy, congruence, and UPR, unconditional positive regard. It's these aspects that you need to keep in mind when dealing with clients. Beneath it all, everyone has issues that cause them to act a certain way, whether it's a condition of worth placed on them, introjection, or in some cases, conditioning. Take a spoiled child, for example. The child wants a toy. The parents refuse to buy said toy. The child then breaks into a tantrum and the child's tantrum causes distress to the parents, so they buy the toy. If this repeats itself enough, the child will grow to realize that if they act in a certain way, they'll get what they want. And to throw an alternative perspective, the asshole may not actually be the bad egg or the one causing damage. You simply cannot make that judgment. It's a dangerous thing to do and could completely destroy any counselor-client relationship that you're trying to build. It's usually not apparent within 5 minutes, and every relationship is so complex. As a counselor, you're only seeing what people will allow you to see. One potential, and I want to emphasize potential, red flag is when one person is clearly only trying to appeal to you rather than wanting to work with their partner. As in, one person is trying to get you to agree with their points to grandstand to their partner rather than trying to work on their relationship issues. Usually when this is a red flag, the person trying to get you to validate their side and invalidate their partner is very calm and tries to make the other one seem irrational, emotional, and angry, and provokes their partner to have an outburst in front of you to prove the partner is crazy and needs to be fixed. Anyway, this is super rare, but occurs if therapy is being used to manipulate or gaslight a partner. Me and my wife went to a marriage counselor years ago when we were having communication problems. The counselor, during the first session, got up in my face and pointed her finger at me while excoriating me. My wife and I talked about her reaction and came to the conclusion that the counselor had her own issues she needed to work through, and I had triggered her somehow. We noped out of there after that and found a counselor who was a better fit soon after. She shoved her self-published book at us during that first session, which was another red flag. I never read it, but kept it as I figured she was worth remembering and avoiding. In some cases, therapy can be used as a stage for theater by the client. My ex, for instance, could put on a show. He would turn on the charm, especially with women, and make himself look like the innocent victim, while I was the bad guy. Behind closed doors it was another story altogether. He had serious anger problems. So when we tried therapy, I might have come off as when he and the therapist were laughing at one of his jokes and I just wanted to be heard without him twisting my words into a punchline. I'd bet it would be obvious to a good therapist what is going on, but this one was not good. Obligatory not a therapist, but I work in domestic abuse and like to think I have a decent reading of people. You just get a strong gut instinct about people sometimes. For example, you look at someone and go, they're a bully and you're right. Obligatory, not a therapist, but I work in domestic abuse and like to think I have a decent reading of people. You just get a strong gut instinct about people sometimes. For example, you look at someone and go, they're a bully and you're right. I'm a social worker working with teenagers and I agree. Of course you can be wrong, but in a lot of cases my gut tells me, oh, that's gonna be a tough one, and it turns out to be correct. He turned himself into a pickle. No one should downvote this reference. Dr. Wang's address to Rick was a gift to many of us who don't even realize what narcissists we are. I have no doubt that you would be bored senseless by therapy. The same way I'm bored when I brush my teeth and wipe my ass. Because the thing about repairing, maintaining, and cleaning is, it's not an adventure. There's no way to do it so wrong you might die. It's just work. And the bottom line is some people are okay going to work. And some people, well, some people would rather die. Each of us gets to choose.